sunset. And as you can see, Doak is currently encompassed in clouds and fog, and it's going to continue that way. It's currently 66 degrees and raining, with winds coming out of the north at about 10 miles per hour. And we can see on the satellite and radar that rain that is moving in, and it is going to continue into tonight. Tonight, as I've been saying, expect some rain, about 57 degrees, with winds coming out of the east at about 10 miles per hour. Now tomorrow, that rain is unfortunately going to continue, so if you have to walk or be on campus, be sure to bring your umbrella and be sure to bring a rain jacket as well. 64 degrees with showers and slight winds coming out of the east at 10 miles per hour. So for the rest of the show, what to expect? Rain, rain, go away. Unfortunately, rain is here to stay. We have a beautiful weekend ahead, and Jonathan is going to miss bus for us. All of that and more on FSU Weather.
Good evening and welcome to your Monday edition of FSU Weather, where we have quite the dreary setup over Doak Campbell Stadium, where it is 66 degrees and just rainy. Not exactly the best conditions. We do have a north wind, and that's going to be symbolic of the cooling temperatures we have pushing into the Tallahassee region as we head into the evening hours. Looking at our satellite and radar, we have this frontal system that is pushing east and southeast. Throughout the Big Bend region, you notice some stronger storms moving through Panama City. A bit of a stronger cell currently in Apalachicola, just south of Tallahassee. But for us, we are just going to be getting heavy rain, and then some lighter rain after that. But this pattern stretches across the entirety of the southeast, with that heavier band moving through North Florida earlier today, and more heavy bands setting up across Tennessee and the Tennessee Valley into Arkansas and Mississippi, where last night they saw some major flash flooding issues, which Lindsay will discuss later. Taking a look at more locally, though, our temperatures are fairly decent for this time of year, about what we expect as we head from winter into spring. Today is the first day of climatological meteorological spring. That is exciting news, but 66 in Tallahassee, and notice it's much warmer down the coast, which is reflected in our dew points, where you'll really notice this steep gradient from that really sticky, really muggy air down by the coast up into South Georgia, where it's not necessarily as muggy, but still enough to support those shower conditions that we are seeing across the area. And then there's quite the variety in wind speed and direction this evening, and that is associated with this frontal system moving through the region. Notice 14 down in Apalachicola, a bunch of 10s through South Georgia and central North Florida. Very various winds, and that's associated with this system we have that is going to push through for the next 24 hours. But then notice, even then, by tomorrow evening, if this band of heavier rain is a few miles south, we will get soaked in Tallahassee tomorrow evening as well. So make sure tomorrow you are bringing your umbrella with you, because we have showers upon showers upon showers. When it rains, it pours, and tomorrow it is going to be quite the wet one, with temperatures warming up a bit into the lower 60s, but it's not going to feel like that outside due to the cold rain. Taking a look at the week ahead, conditions aren't going to get much better until Thursday, when things finally start to clear out and we will start to warm up again as we head into our weekend, but not so fast. Saturday, another quickie cold front is going to move through. Not necessarily making things cold, but a low temperature of 36 on Saturday night is definitely enough to make you want to have your jacket if you are going to be heading out for any Saturday night shenanigans. As we move into early next week, temperatures are going to warm up again, and then we are going to look at this pattern and see if it's going to continue across the southeast with Josh.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. And yes, here's a great look at our southeast area right now. Here's some current temperatures as of 6:05 today. Miami and South Florida right now, you guys are sitting at a toasty 79 degrees still. As we make our way north, Orlando is actually registering higher at 84 degrees. And a bit to our north here in Tallahassee, we are sitting at 66. And a bit to our northwest here in New Orleans, 64. And up north in Little Rock, you guys are sitting at 50 degrees. As for our current dew points, you can see it's very muggy in the entirety of the Florida region right now, except for this little portion in the Panhandle that's already seen a majority of that rain. Right now in Miami, 70, 69 here in Tampa, 64 in Orlando. But as that rain moves out of our area, we're going to see these dew points drop a bit. Like up here in Little Rock, they're registering at 29 right now. As for our current winds, They're a bit all over the place, but we're seeing some moderate winds all over the southeast area. Right now in the Key West region, you guys are getting a bit of an easterly wind at 10 miles an hour. Here in Tallahassee, we're seeing a northern wind at 10 miles an hour as well. And a bit to our north here in Atlanta, they're also seeing a northerly wind at 12. And a bit to our west over here in Little Rock, you guys are getting an easterly at 10 as well. Here's that big band of rain that Jonathan was talking about earlier, covering a majority of the Panhandle and the Big Bend region right now, making its way into the Tallahassee region and eventually into Jacksonville and the rest of northern and central Florida. A bit to the north, there's a bit of a break in the action with just some cloud cover and moderate scattered showers. But a bit to the north of that, we see another very strong rain band making its way all the way from Houston, stretching across northern Alabama and even into Georgia. So it's something to keep an eye on for the rest of the Atlantic coast. Here's a look at our moisture content right now. You can see a majority of central and south Florida is very dry, but as you make your way north, lots of moisture covering a majority of the southeast area right now. So over the next 48 hours, you can see this rain band is going to move right across the southeast, covering the entirety of the Florida Panhandle in northern Florida, as well as Georgia and into South Carolina. And then as for tonight's forecast, we're going to see pretty moderate temperatures covering a majority of the state of Florida. Tampa, you guys are going to get down to 70. Key West, you guys are going to get down to 74. A bit north up here in Tallahassee, you guys will be sitting at 59. And a bit over to our west in New Orleans, you guys will hit 55 tonight. And as for tomorrow, a majority of the South Florida region will see those very high temperatures again for this time of year, 84 down in Miami. Up to our north a bit, Tallahassee, we're going to be a bit rainy, and Jacksonville sitting at 61. And a bit to our north in Atlanta, you guys will be sitting at 51 degrees. And as for now, here's Jonathan with a look at today's lifestyle report.
Yeah, so we're going to start out with not a different perspective, looking out at our traffic camera. Stadium and Call, not sure what's going on. It looks to be a bit glitchy, but the main theme here today is wet. Every one of our cameras, whether it be Gain Street, Panama City, St. George Island, you're finally starting to see a small break in the clouds, but Stadium and Call, very wet. We want to make sure everyone is on their safest driving behaviors as they move out onto these wet roads. Speaking of travel, airport delays, maybe a few delays possible in Tallahassee. It is kind of rainy, but planes luckily can take off in the rain for the most part, so we should be good there. Zooming out to airports across the southeast in the country, not very many delays, which is a very good thing to see as we head into the spring break travel season. In regards to more on a local level, tomorrow you are not going to want to walk your dogs around campus. It's going to be a wet one. So if you do walk your dog, make sure you have a towel in your door as soon as you get in. We do not want wet dogs all over our couches. But tomorrow morning, 60, but notice temperatures will be slightly dropping throughout the day, maybe hovering steady in the mid-50s as we approach mid-afternoon. But very showery, very wet conditions tomorrow, very mild temperatures associated with that. Moving on into Wednesday, after those rain showers come out, we will still be hitting buckets. Things will still be falling from the sky. 60 degrees for your FSU Hoops forecast for Wednesday evening. We are playing Boston College at home. We are still ranked strong at number 11, even after a tough loss this weekend, but we are looking fantastically set up for that game. Speaking of games, FSU home softball this weekend. Saturday first pitch. Saturday we are going to have to watch the weather. There's a chance of showers and thunderstorms earlier in the day. Not quite sure when that chance will extinguish. But as our softball team takes on our rivals UF, boo, temperatures should be warm enough, but maybe not the best viewing conditions. However, FSU home baseball this weekend, we are playing versus Virginia every day this weekend. Friday does look to be your best day to see that with a nice temperature of 69 and the first pitch starting at 6 p.m. then. Looking at your weekend rec forecast, Saturday showers, Sunday is going to be more of the fun day as you see sun on Sunday with that aforementioned chance of showers on Saturday. Temperatures should be in the 60s, so I'm not sure if I would be out on the lake parasailing or in the water this weekend with our bit of a cooler conditions, but taking a look at your overall weekend pattern, it should be great for maybe some hiking on Sunday. Saturday, I would advise sticking with your indoor plans as it is going to be a rather wet and potentially cool one. 36 is very, very cool for this time of year. But as I mentioned at the beginning of this segment, we have some very wet roads in Tallahassee right now, and for more on that, Lindsay's going to tell us about flash flood preparedness.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jonathan. Super, super stoked to hopefully watch that FSU women's softball game, but let's dive into some flash flood safety. So last night, storms trained over Tennessee and Kentucky, meaning that the two storms tracked each other. For hours, massive amounts of rain were dumping on these regions, on the same regions as well. So this causes flash flooding, and these areas are super flooded out and often need rescues from cars. And we want to avoid this, so let's talk about this a little more. There's a phrase we use in the studio and we use throughout the country: turn around, don't drown. You don't know how deep standing water is, and it's not worth it to get to your location if you can't even make it there. No matter where you drive, no matter what you drive rather, whether it's a Prius, a Jeep, a huge truck, an F-150, do not drive into the water, turn around, go home. It's better that you stay safe. You can totally get stuck in whatever vehicle you are driving, no matter the size. If there's water ponding, just be sure that you take the safest route. There is no need to get to your location so quickly. And currently in Tallahassee, we're going to see water ponding tonight, which can lead to flash flooding. So if you're in Tallahassee tonight, maybe consider staying in. There's no need to go out. We're in a pandemic and a flash flood. Just stay in. It's the safest option. So flash flood watch means that there are conditions for heavy rain, accumulation of water, and ponding. So overall, it's a warning to stay inside and avoid going out. Or if you see flooding water, do not drive into it, just turn around. A warning means that it is occurring at this instant, and an emergency is super rare. It is a threat to property. It could damage your home, but it can also hurt you, and rescues will definitely be happening. So if you hear a warning, an emergency, be sure to take precautions. So overall, moral of the story is be alert, stay home in any case of heavy rain in relation to driving. And for now, Josh is going to give us a look at the rest of the country.
Thank you very much for that educational piece, Lindsay. It's very important to stay safe out there. Flooding is a very dangerous and deadly thing that could occur. But right now for our temperatures across the nation, it's 79 down in Miami, 65 here in Tallahassee. Moving a bit to our north in the Midwestern region, we've got 32 up in Chicago, 24 up here in Minneapolis. Looking a bit to our southwest area, we've got 50 down here in Albuquerque, 69 in San Francisco and Los Angeles. And in our Pacific Northwest region, we're sitting at 56 here in rainy Seattle. As for our dew points, it's very dry across the majority of the country. You can see all these brown regions representing very dry, cool air. But of course, in our southeast area is where we see the most mugginess. 70 down here in Miami, 63 here in Tallahassee, and we're even registering at -1 degrees here in Albuquerque. Very, very dry conditions in that southwest region. Here's our satellite and radar. You can see the southeast region is being dominated by rain right now. Here's that large rain band that we were tracking earlier, currently moving through southern Texas and into northern Louisiana, eventually pushing across into the rest of the southeast region. But right now we're covering this very large rain band as well, pushing right over Tallahassee and into southern Georgia and eventually over out into the rest of the Atlantic. But looking over to a bit in the western region, very dry conditions, no cloud cover, no rainfall, except for this little piece down here in Texas. And very interesting, if we take a look up here in the northeast region, we can see these wintry conditions currently pushing across New York and the rest of the northern Atlantic. They're looking at a lake effect snow right now. That's what's causing all those blizzardy conditions. A bit to the south, another bit of that rain has caused river flood warning, so that's something to keep an eye out if you're in those regions. And as well, if you're down south, we've got some small craft advisories. Here's a better look at that northeast region right now. Look at all these blizzardy conditions moving across northern New York right now, upstate New York, pushing eventually down into the metro area and into Boston and across the rest of the northeastern seaboard. In the middle of the country right now, very dry conditions, maybe a bit of snow to the north. And in our southwest right now, we've got very dry conditions, which has led to this drought monitor. We've got very exceptional drought right now in the southwest, but good for us, the temperatures there have not gotten high enough yet to where it could be a concern. But this is definitely something to keep an eye on as we move into the spring and southern months. Here's that rain band again pushing across Tallahassee into the rest of the Florida Panhandle, Big Bend region, and eventually into northern Florida and southern Georgia. We're also going to keep an eye on that rain band that's to the north as well. And as for tonight's forecast, the majority of the country will be seeing temperatures in the 20s and 30s. As we push across into the southeast, temperatures warm up a bit, 47 here in Tallahassee, and it'll be 71 down in South Florida tonight. And as for tomorrow, we'll be seeing very moderate conditions across the country, except for down there in Miami, we'll be seeing 84 degrees as tomorrow's high. And now we're going to give things off to Lindsay with a look more locally.
Thank you so much, Josh. So just another manic Monday in Tallahassee. Clouds encompassing Doak Campbell Stadium, really gross and muggy conditions with rain. We're currently at 65 degrees. And winds coming out of the north-northeast at about 9 miles per hour. And as we can see from that satellite and radar, this storm system is going to move in, and it is what's giving Tallahassee the rain that we're experiencing currently, and as well as into tomorrow. But for our wind speed and direction, we see that Tallahassee is at about 9 miles per hour. Overall, wind speeds varying from 5 to 10 miles per hour. And our dew point, we're sitting at 63 degrees in Tallahassee. Very muggy and moist conditions, as we can tell with that rain that's going on outside currently. So currently our temperature is 65 degrees in Tallahassee and rain. And we're going to see throughout most of the Big Bend that is what everyone's experiencing. Quincy's at 63 and rain as well. Bainbridge is getting some heavier rain than we are right now at about 60 degrees. So now over the next 24 hours, what we can expect is rain to push through, bring us muggy, rainy conditions, and cloud coverage to follow with it. But for tomorrow, if you have a dog to walk, I'm so sorry. It's going to rain on you the whole day, starting at 9 a.m., 55 degrees and showers, 57 degrees at 12 p.m. So we are warming up, but unfortunately, the rain is here to stay. So for the next week, Tuesday and Wednesday, expect rainy conditions. High chance of rain both Tuesday and Wednesday, with our highs in the mid-60s and our lows ranging from low 50s into mid-40s. And as we get further onto the week, we are going to see that it's going to clear up. It's going to be beautiful for Thursday and Friday, a great time to get outside, enjoy the outdoors while you can. Low 70s and for our highs, and for our lows, mid to upper 40s. Saturday, unfortunately, more thunderstorms. However, we're going to clear up. Sunday is a beautiful day. Get outside, maybe go to the res, enjoy that sunshine. And as for Monday, we're going to see it is a beautiful 69 degrees with sun. So for now, I'm going to pass things off to Jonathan, and he's going to educate us on melting of snow.
Yeah, so last week we discussed the sort of crazy myth-busting type thing. I don't know what is happening with our graphics, pardon me, as we deal with a technical difficulty. There we are. We myth-busted a absolutely bonkers TikTok that all of us had been sent. And I'm sort of dealing with a similar situation. I had a viewer message me on Twitter with a TikTok about snow in Texas being manufactured and not being real precipitation that fell from the sky. So let's go ahead and roll that TikTok now.
Snowball
Okay.
is not melting, and it's hitting fire. Not dripping at all. Turns black. And if you smell it, it smells like plastic. Snow should melt. I don't think this is snow. I think this is manufactured snow. Smell it. It smells like burning plastic.
Maybe it's the candle.
No. Candle doesn't have plastic scent.
So that's kind of absurd. So TikTok has struck again. No, the government is not manufacturing weather. No, the government is not manufacturing snowing and putting it in states. No, the government did not cause this disaster that happened in South Texas. And the snow is melting, as evidenced by the fact that there is no snow in Texas today. But looking more at the science behind it, burning fuel is going to char that snow. I saw some other TikToks of people lighting it with a lighter. That lighter uses lighter fluid, and that is going to result in the hydrocarbons in both the precipitation and the hydrocarbon in the fuel going to be turning into an ash, which is that black substance that accumulated on the outside of the snow. So one thing there is, I would definitely not be eating that snow. I know some people like to make snow cream. There is something called pollution that we all know about, and it has made its way into our precipitation, and that is going to mean that that's kind of some nasty stuff you're eating. So definitely don't do that, and that is one of the reasons why that snow turned black when someone put a flame on it. Another reason why is, most northerners know this, is that when you compact snow into a snowball to throw it, not only does it kind of hurt to get hit with it, but it's also less likely to break apart and melt in that instance. So perhaps if you had tried to melt the snow with just sitting it in the palm of your hand, it would have melted faster. It's going to melt eventually. But just wanted to go ahead and bust some of these rumors and some of these mispractices and misinformation going out about the snowstorm in Texas, because no, the snow is not manufactured, and yes, the snow will melt. But going back to a more Florida level of things, here's Josh.
Well, that was very interesting, Jonathan. Thank you for that interesting perspective on burning snow. All right, but here's to Florida now. Back to weather. 80 degrees down in Key West, and moving north, we've got 80 degrees in the Palm Beaches as well. A very toasty 84 still in Orlando. In our viewing area right now, we were at 65 in Tallahassee and 61 and rainy over in Pensacola. Speaking of rain, here's that very strong system that's pushing across the Panhandle and into the Big Bend region as we speak. This will move into the northern Florida and southern Georgia regions overnight. Moving down south a bit, you can see they've fared a lot better with the rain today. Clear conditions all throughout Key West, Miami, through the Palm Beaches, and over on the west coast. Miami right now, tomorrow, you'll be sitting at 84 degrees as your high, and those conditions will persist through the week with very low chances for rain, very sunny South Florida conditions. As for Tampa, you guys will see some precipitation start to pick up as of Wednesday with a 63% chance, and you'll see your temperatures drop into the low 70s. And looking a bit more towards Central Florida, Orlando, you guys will be at 78 tomorrow with a 40% chance of rain that will persist through Wednesday, and we'll see some clearing up as we go into Thursday. As for the central region right now, you can see there's a bit of a rain spectra just moving across the state right now. This will slowly clear up as we move into the overnight hours. Moving a bit north, you can see this is where the cloud cover really picks up. Here's that large band of rain pushing across right now. Northern Florida, you guys will be seeing these effects as we move into the evening hours, so keep an eye out for that as you make your way home from work later tonight. As for Jacksonville, tomorrow you guys will be sitting at a high of 61 with a 91% chance of rain, so you better make sure you guys bring those umbrellas wherever you're going tomorrow. But as you move in through the week, we've only got a 60% chance on Wednesday, and we'll be clearing up as we move into Thursday with a high of 70. And for our friends in the western part of Florida, Pensacola, you guys will definitely be seeing some rain tomorrow with a 98% chance of rain. 59 degrees will be your high, but luckily for you, Wednesday and Thursday will be clearing up very nicely with a high of 63. Here's all that rain moving across the Panhandle right now. You guys are in the thick of it and into the evening, and tomorrow you guys will be getting the later portion of that rain band moving across. But as for tonight, we'll be seeing temperatures in about the low 70s, upper 60s for the majority of the central and south Florida region. As we make our way north, Tallahassee will be sitting at 47, and as so will our friends in Pensacola. But as for tomorrow, Tallahassee will be sitting at a high of 61, and as for the rest of South Florida, you guys will be in the mid to upper 80s. But for now, here's Lindsay with a look more locally.
Thank you so much, Josh. So once again, a dreary look over the stadium, kind of depressing, but it's just that Monday feel. It's currently 65 and raining, and we are going to see that rain persist into tonight. So now looking at our satellite and radar, look at this crazy line of rain. That rain is currently what we are expecting to face tonight, currently now and into tonight as well. So for our temperature, Tallahassee, 65 degrees and rain. And our friends in Quincy and Bainbridge experiencing very similar conditions to us, 63 in Quincy, 60 in Bainbridge, and lots of rain to go around the Big Bend, guys. Hope it clears up soon. Tallahassee, our dew point is 63 degrees, which is why we are experiencing these muggy and moist conditions. Quincy as well, at a muggy 61, as well as Bainbridge and Thomasville, who are facing muggier conditions in the high 50s. Now for our heat indices, heat indices are that feels like temperature, so it might vary from what the current temperature actually is. Tallahassee is sitting at 65 degrees, so it feels like 65 in Tallahassee. And as we move further north, Quincy, it feels like it's about 63 degrees, Bainbridge at 60 degrees, and 61 in Thomasville for that feels like temperature. Now for our wind speeds, Tallahassee has a northerly wind at about 9 miles per hour, and it does vary a little bit. Overall, pretty windy in the Big Bend region, but for the next 24 hours, expect rain, rain, rain. It's here to stay. Tallahassee is going to be experiencing rain all throughout tomorrow and tonight as well. But for tomorrow, again, if you're walking your dog or any other animal that might need to be walked, expect rain throughout the day. Bring an umbrella and a jacket, and bring a sweatshirt maybe as well. 55 degrees at 9 a.m., and it's going to increase to our high at about 64 degrees tomorrow. So for the week ahead, as we've been reiterating through the show, expect rain tomorrow and Wednesday, high % chance of rain, and high 60s for the most part. Thursday and Friday are going to clear up. We're going to have some beautiful sunshine. Go out and enjoy it while you can. Maybe take a break and study outside. Take a walk, clear the mind, but be sure to wear your mask if you're going out. Saturday, unfortunately, we are experiencing thunderstorms again, but overall, Sunday is looking gorgeous as well as Monday. We have mid to high 60s, and our lows, Sunday is pretty cold, a low of 36. So if you are out Sunday night, be sure to bring your jacket. But for now, we're going to close things off with Josh.
Thank you very much, Lindsay. And to reiterate what we've all been saying the entire show, we've got a lot of rain in our area. So please make sure to bring those umbrellas tomorrow, wherever you may go. We'll be seeing these conditions persist through tonight and into tomorrow. But luckily for us, these conditions will tend to slow down as we go into the rest of the week, with some sunny conditions coming on Wednesday and Thursday. A little bit what we talked about on our show today. The Northeast is seeing that lake effect snow, so they've got a lot of blizzardy conditions up there. If you know anyone up there, you might want to call, get some pictures. I'm sure there'll be a lot of snowfall on the ground for you to check out. And we also want to talk about that little flash flood safety segment that we talked about. That's very important. You never know, especially in the rainy and hurricane seasons for Florida. These flash floods can prove to be very, very damaging, almost as damaging as the winds that we see during hurricanes. So it's very important that we always keep those in mind, and always watch out for that random big puddle of water that you may see after a big storm. And as for our sports this week, we do have a lot coming up, so good thing that weather will be clearing up as we head into the weekend. Hopefully Saturday will clear up as well, but as for now, you can give us a follow on Twitter at FSU Weather, and you can also like us on Facebook. We're on there as well under FSU Weather. And you can also check us out live on YouTube, where we stream every weekday at 6 o'clock. You can find us there at FSU Weather as well. And of course, check us out on Instagram, where we post weekly updates at FSU Weather. So, to wrap up today's show, we even talked about busting a TikTok myth, which was very, very interesting. And we're looking at some spring temperatures coming our way. Hopefully those will continue to persist as we stay through the spring months. So, as for now, thank you very much for